Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, May 9th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the S&NQ. So the biggest thing to take away from today is we have an inside day. So the market attempted yesterday. We got the daily up yesterday, the weekly finally up in ES, only now to have an inside day. So I'm going to basically call this a 6-day balance. I will call the weekly up, and more importantly, the monthly's back to balance also. We potentially could have one of our 10th lightest volume of the year. That's how light it was in SPY. Righty goes out with a 10 wide point of control and a double distribution day down that held. NQ goes out with a 10 wide POC. They raised POC late. They never got to H's high. They raised POC to C's high. They go out with a 10 wide point of control and a double distribution day down that held. ES goes out with just an 11 wide POC. They took back their trend A and L. So range for what we've had recently is small, although in the old days we would have killed for a $4 or $5 range. But the volume horrendous. I'm going to go over all these charts and break down what we're looking at. Again, for the week, remember we had 2 fantastic weeks in a row, right? So this week we're down $2 in the S&P. So the bulls could say, hey, look, we were up $40 over 2 weeks and we gave back 2 this week. And that's true. And again, the bears can say, well, you broke out of balance on the daily yesterday, you went up on the weekly, went balance on the monthly, and yet you couldn't have a follow through today. Well, that's true also. So in the shorter time frame, the bears are right. In the longer time frame, the bulls are still in good shape, if that makes sense. And an okay day today. Not a lot of trading at all in the afternoon. I was long. I actually broke even in A period in NQ. A period is total chop. I made on one long, lost on a short, ended up losing 1 point. And on a chop period like that, I was happy with that. I did well, though, in B period on a long against the 144, and NQ made just about 30 points. And then I took another long when we went down. I missed taking out A's low to get the one-time framing. I did not get it, but I did get along against the POC, overnight POC, which paid also, and then that was it as far as looking for POCs. I got short to get the IB low in C and ebb and flow shorts with the trend day holding. And then they started grinding up but didn't take back the trend day. Didn't do anything until I period. I actually took a long in I to stop the one-time framing down, took it above H's high. And the last trade of the day was nice in L period against a short inside of the single prints. They attempted many times to go lower, but the lows of the day held in C period in ES and NQ. Now, righty, they did go lower in F, but ES, they kept pushing but didn't get much. And that's why I finally took that long in I to stop the one-time framing down. And that was it. So it turned out to be decent day, good week overall. And here, before we get to the charts, here's our balance. Right? 6 days. No, 7 days. 3, 5, 3, 7. So we're going to use Thursday. Thursday is the high to balance. Wednesday is the low to balance. And it's a 7-day balance. Okay? Going into Monday with the inside day. And now let's go and break down the charts. So here's IWM, right? We always start with them. IWM is the only one that has not taken out last month's high or the weekly high that I want to call them up. So IWM right now is still down on the monthly. Okay? One-time framing down for 3 months, 4 months? So they need to take out that monthly high. They haven't done it yet. On the flip side, they haven't gotten into, taking back a lot of this from April. So that's good news. But down on the monthly. The weekly, I know they're one-time framing up for 2 weeks, but they never took out that March 31st high. So you want to call up. Again, it's subjective. But to me, it would be more impressive to take out the March 31st weekly high, like the way we did in ES and Q. And then I would call them up. But some people will certainly be calling them up. That's your prerogative. Unbalanced. The daily is balance again. We went back to up. Yesterday we finally went up, and today with the inside day balance. So again, it's a 7-day balance. We'll see how we come out of it on Monday. NQ and triple Qs. The monthly's balance, right? Again, we don't know how big the balance is going to be. I'd say, though, the way they're getting into it a little more, what's the high? 513 that month, and this is 4. We'll see. We still have 20 days to go in the month. But for now, it's certainly balanced, holding that very nice candle in April. The weekly is up. We took out the 31st high. So the weekly is up for me. All right? We'll see if the next hurdle would be the next weekly high of 493.62. All right? So the monthly is balanced. The weekly is up. The daily is balanced. Now look at this. Yesterday, traded it to 200. Today, traded it to 200. But we're still below it. If you're going to get any real move to the upside, right? We've had a tremendous move off the lows. Look at the low of the year in triple Qs, 402. We're trading at 488. But $86 off the lows. That's over 20% off the lows. But if we're going to have any attempt to go back to all-time highs, you need acceptance above this 200. So right now, triple Qs are the first ones making the attempt to get there. So we're going to have to keep an eye on them, just like we kept an eye on righty, because they were the first ones when we went down below the 200. So monthly's balance, weekly up, daily balance for the NQ. And for the S&P, monthly finally came into balance. We took out last month's high yesterday. So we're in balance very nicely. Nice candle from last month. Weekly is up. We took out that weekly high that I wanted to take out. Look at this indecision, though, on this weekly candle. Look at that. Still a lot of indecision, even though I'm calling them up. And it was a very small range. Well, not very small. I shouldn't say that. It's a $14 range. But considering the ranges we've had this year, look at these weekly ranges. This is a weekly. Look at these ranges. So this week is fairly small. So we'll see how it plays out. But they're up. And the daily is a 7-day balance with an inside day. We have not attacked the 200-day moving average yet, the way NQ has. Again, very light volume. It's at 36 million right now, so we have to do a little over 36.5 million not to be in the top 10. But regardless, it's horrible volume. Once again, thank you very much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org, see what we can offer you guys and gals with our educational and informational with the profile. Enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.